Ready? So in my bowl is my dry ingredients of my flour and my salt, and I've just added my shortening. I use a pastry blender. You all paying attention, right? So pastry blender, I'm gonna cut this in. We used this in another lab. What was that? Biscuits. So this is the biscuit method. So I continue. You right in here? Good. So that I can, for all the people who are absent, and they can look at it. How long do I do this? Yeah, till the shortening's gone. What do I not do with my pastry blender?
Stir.
Stir. That's right. And they should be even sized pieces. Almost looks like, not really so much as cornmeal. Cornmeal's a lot more fine, but this is close. Finish those up a little bit. And then I'm going to add water. And it depends on my flour. A tablespoon at a time. And I just sprinkle this on. It's going to be mushy. So I'm just going to toss this a little bit at a time. I'm going to add another tablespoon. Maybe I'll add 2. Lolly, that's a really good question, because if it's too wet, it'll be really nasty. You can see it's starting to form. I'm going to add just half of another one. Has a really different kind of texture and consistency than what your yeast dough had. So there it forms, and I did that with my hands. I'm going to make sure that my surface is covered with flour as well as my rolling pin. I really highly recommend flattening this with your palm to a certain degree, and then you can roll it out. Right, left, up and down, north and south, east and west. Now, how far do you roll it out? How thin should it be?
Not super thin.
But you want it big enough. So here's my pie pan. I want to make sure it's going to fit, right? So how am I going to get this transferred into here? So a lot of times people tell you to fold it in half and pick it up and move it. I don't like that method myself. I like to roll it on my rolling pin. Not sure if it's going to let me. Let me try this direction. This way. Everybody see that? Get this up and roll it in there. Now you don't want to stretch your dough. You want to ease it down in there. And then I need to do something called flute. What does that mean? It's not a musical instrument I'm talking about. Nope. Nope. So fluting is your edge. So I'm not going to cut it until I'm all done making my edge. If I cut it all off now, I don't have much left. So I'm going to lift this up. I like to lift this up and kind of squish it underneath. And I just use my hands. I'm just pulling this up a little bit. Gonna flute this around the edge. A lot of people do all sorts of neat decorative things that you can do. If I put this into the oven like it is after I flute this edge, I think I'm gonna patch a little piece over here. If I do that, it's gonna blister and it will have lots of big pockets. So now I'm gonna use my paring knife and I'm going to cut off any pieces that are hanging. And then I'm going to take my knife or my fork, I'm sorry, and I'm going to pierce it so that it doesn't blister, because there'll be nothing on here to hold it down. Because I'm going to bake this. There we go. So when I do that, I go around the sides of my pie pan. Like that, and then across the bottom by 5-6 times, and I'm going to stick it in the oven.